It's early in the morning, I have yet to go to sleep yet, but I just got done watching the Season 3 finale of The Walking Dead. Here's my Punisher t-shirt. I feel like Frank Castle, my family's dead, and I have nothing to lose. Okay, so the season finale opens up with the governor confronting Milton, who burned the zombies that were in those pits. You know, he confronts Milton by punching him in the gut, and then he's like, "You're gonna kill Andrea. You're gonna go kill her." And then she's tied up to a chair. Kind of like, it reminded me of Hostel, when they tie people up into the chairs, and then you have some weird guy come in wearing like a rubber apron, and he has a pair of scissors, and he's like, ha, ha. If you haven't seen Hostel, that just came across really weird. Anyway, you have Andrea tied up. The governor stabs Milton in the stomach. Milton's slowly dying, and Andrea knows that time's ticking before Milton turns into a walker and attacks her. And then you have the governor and his bad guys and the civilians of Woodbury. You know, they're all invading the prison to kill these people because the governor's led everyone to believe that these people are bad and they're gonna hurt them if they don't take them out first. And that's kind of where the issues start for me, because I was expecting a lot more than I got in this episode. You guys remember a few episodes back when Rick encounters his old buddy that he used to talk to in the walkie-talkie, and they go to this guy's hideout, and he has all these traps. You know, he has rats in cages, so when the walkers reach in, they get stabbed. And then, you know, where his welcome mat was at his house, you step into it and it's a pit of spikes, which, by the way, I want to install one of those. It's just a lawsuit waiting to happen. Like, some little Girl Scout comes to my house, and then essentially I have to find a way to dispose of the body, and then I go Breaking Bad style by buying a vat of acid and leaving it in my garage. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is, why have the people of this prison not installed all these traps? Like, do they just lack the common sense? I mean, they seen that one guy have all these traps. It works out. Well, it's protection. But the only traps that they install at the prison is they lay down like a set of spikes at the front gate. That way, so when the first truck comes through, it flattens its tires. Maybe add a few more of those so they all go flat. You know, just a whole strip of spikes. I mean, you guys have nothing but time on your hands. What do you guys do all day at the prison? Just sit around and mope and argue about who's gonna go on the next run? Alright, so back to the point. Everyone from Woodsbury attacks the prison. They all go inside of it. There's no traces of anyone there. They're kind of wandering around. And all of a sudden they go into one of the dark hallways of the prison. And, you know, the sirens start going off. Zombies start coming out of the doors. And all the Woodsbury people inside the prison kind of disperse and go crazy and chaotic and start running out of the prison. Basically abandoning their whole reason that they came there. For, you know, they're just very untrained, unprepared for some odd reason. So once all these alarms and sirens are going off inside of the prison and zombies are coming out of the doors, and then they all take off. Everyone just leaves. And once the forces of Woodbury leave, you have Rick emerging from the prison, standing up all heroic like they really accomplished something. The only thing they did is scared them off. Like, do they not think that they're going to be back? What was their plan? I mean, you either have to kill all of them or none of them. What's the difference? And another thing was, once again with the booby trap thing, why did they not just toss a few grenades in the hallway and blow everybody up? You know, when they went to that guy's house a few episodes ago, like I was mentioning, the one with all the traps, that guy had an arsenal of weapons, ammunition, grenades, and they took some of those things. But we've yet to actually see them use one damn grenade. I don't get why they don't use the grenade. Anyway, I thought Rick's whole counterattack plan was really bad. It really didn't do anything to solve a permanent issue. It just scared them off. Like, I just didn't get what their mindset would be, that they wouldn't ever come back. But one of the best parts of that scene was you had one of the teenagers who were with Woodbury that were going to attack the prison. He kind of gets separated from his group and he's wandering around the woods. And out in the woods he encounters Carl and Herschel, and the kid has a gun, and Carl's like, put the gun down, and the kid's like, okay, here's the gun, and Carl just puts his gun right up to the kid's head and blows his brains out. Now, a lot of people might disagree with what happened there, and even Herschel disagrees with what happened there, but Carl made the right choice, because when you really go back and watch that scene, that kid who was about to hand up his gun, he was up to something, because you don't go and hand, like, if you're scared and someone says, give me your gun or put your gun down, you don't slowly walk towards them with it kind of aiming at them. Okay, here you go, here you go. You don't do that. Carl made the right choice. And here's little Carl right here. I used to hate this kid, but you know what? He's really stepping up to be one of the most likable characters on the show, because he's the only one with common sense anymore. He's really doing what it takes, you know? Why sit there and let that kid maybe turn his gun on you? What are you gonna do once you capture him? make him part of the group. You can't trust this kid. He just came to kill everybody. Keep him hostage? What's the point? So yeah, killing him was the right choice. That's what I would have done. So let's go back to what's happening in Woodbury. Anyway, Milton turns into a zombie, attacks Andrea. Andrea kills him, but is bitten in the process, and that's when Michonne, Rick, and Daryl catch up with her. And then Andrea is like, I'm sorry, I tried. Everybody's like, yeah, we know, but you were kind of stupid, and you shouldn't have been so naive to believe that this rapist, criminal who wants to kill everybody. And by the way, didn't you sleep with him, Andrea? Yeah, you knew better than that. And you could have ended this a long time ago if you just would have killed him in his sleep, right? Oh, but you tried. Anyway, she ends up blowing her own brains out, which, you know, I thought that was the right decision for her to go, because Andrea had no place anymore. She ran her course. It was time. And now let's talk about where this stuff gets juicy. Now we cut back to the governor and the people of Woodbury, and they're out in the middle of this road. The governor's really pissed off that everyone, you know, disbanded and ran away, and he's getting really pissed, and everybody pulls over on the side of this road. And they're out there talking and arguing, and he's like, why'd you run off? Oh, I'm a rapist. And then he just ends up killing everybody. He pulls out a machine gun and just shoots them all to death. But after the governor does this, he jumps in his pickup truck, and his two bad guys or whatever jump in the truck with him, and they just take off. It's like, what the hell are you guys doing? Why did you guys not just shoot this guy in the head and take his truck and take off? It's like, what are these people thinking? Are they gonna go hang out with the governor from now on? Like, how can you trust a guy who just killed 17 people on the side of the road? I mean, honestly, the governor has nothing to offer you. I mean, why would you even tag along with him? He has no engineering skills, no mechanical skills. You know why? Because he killed Milton, the guy who did all of these things. So anyway, the governor lives, he takes off into the sunset, and now we have to deal with that guy in season 4. Yay. So here's how the episode ends. You have Rick, Daryl, and Michonne coming back, and they're in this huge bus, and they're pulling back into the prison. And inside of this bus are the older people and the weaker people who can't join the fighting force of Woodbury to go to the prison. And they're all on the bus. You know, Rick takes them in. Yay, Rick's being a good guy. Let's take all these people into the prison, which we really don't have enough food for. They're all the weak older people of Woodbury, and our prison doesn't even have electricity like Woodbury had. Here's my question. Why the hell is Rick, if Woodbury's empty now, why are we going back to this desolated, dirty, dingy-ass prison, which, by the way, isn't even that well enforced? I mean, half of the back prison wall is missing, that's why walkers just randomly get into it. Get that bus, load everybody back onto it, and go to Woodbury. You know, a nice place to live that has running electricity and water and all these amenities and nice beds. But at the very end of this episode, you have Rick getting out of the bus, you see all the people getting out of the bus, and then you have Carl over there, and he's just kind of like shaking his head like, what the hell are you doing, Dad? Are you stupid? And Rick's like, these people need a home. And then, you know, Carl's just like, no, man. Like, we can't even defend for ourselves. Why would you take these people in? So I completely agree with Carl on this point. He's kind of like the one that has common sense now. I don't know if they're trying to make Carl seem like a bad egg or something, but in my opinion, Carl's kind of the only person I can agree with anymore. And also the whole prison environment, I'm getting a little bit bored and tired with it. I'm just tired of the scenery. It's time to move on and get out of there. And really, I was hoping for some kind of sense of journey at the end of this episode. I was hoping that they'd have a plan to do something else or go somewhere else or do something. But no, they're basically just bringing more people into the prison, and you really didn't get a great cliffhanger. I mean, the governor's still alive. He's obviously going to return somewhere in season 4. And there was no true conclusion. You know, they just kind of dragged at that governor storyline, and there was no true payoff for it. So I was a little bit let down by the season finale of Walking Dead season 3. I want to know your guys' opinion on it. Did you like it? Did you hate it? What were your thoughts? Let me know down below. You know, don't be scared. If it takes 15 comments to get your point across, do it. I want to hear it. So anyway, guys, my name's John. Thanks for watching.